would probably have a few questions regarding how that would work. First of all, the person you're inviting to your house is a stranger. You do not have the infrastructure to check whether that person is a criminal or otherwise. If you hand the key of your house to them, they may steal your product, they may steal your properties. If you go to the police, or your insurance may refuse to cover it, because why would you hand your key to a total stranger? So all of those are the kind of thing you might be thinking, my friend, now this might not work. I think you should look at something else apart from this. So essentially, in terms of the Airbnb, if your friend were to try to convince you of this very insane idea of basically handing over your house to a total stranger that you don't know from Adam for a short period of days, you might want to go into whether or not they've actually considered all this through. Have you really thought it through? Or is it just the drink we're having that is talking? Now, if your friend were to say, if you were to do a link canvas with your friends, and your friend were to say, okay, now I know what you're saying, and I know how crazy it sounds, but I didn't just come up with this idea of home sharing on my own. I have seen some serious problems out there that people want to be solved. The first problem that I see out there is that, first of all, it's hard to find cheap, affordable accommodation option when traveling. So, because hotels know that if you travel from London to Paris, and you don't have any family members there, you're just there for a little few days stay, hotels know that you're not going to sleep on the street. So you've become a captive audience. So whatever the price is to stay in Paris, you're going to pay. So hotels know that, and because of course, you can't really rent a house if you're going to be there for 3 days. Again, you have no other place to go. So as a result, the plane ticket might be cheap, but essentially the stay will be expensive. So that's the first problem I see that most people have. There is no really a cheap, affordable accommodation option presented to them when they travel. Another problem that I see is that it's not just about the money. There are people out there who actually don't mind paying the money, but they feel like the hotel environment is sterile, that you don't really feel like you've traveled, you don't really get the authentic feel of the place. So staying in hotels, traveler cannot get authentic experience of a location. You go to the Eiffel Tower, you go to the normal touristy area, but you don't really get to see the place in its raw, authentic self. And they feel like hotels sometimes is a block to that. Everything is a presentation. Nothing is, authentic, sporadic. It just is. And that's one of the things that you want to solve. That's another problem that you've heard people complain about. Another problem that you've seen is that, let's assume that people even want to stay at someone else's place. It is not easy for homeowners to monetize their vacant areas on a day-to-day basis. For homeowners, the insurance will be invalidated. Again, comes the problem of, how can I let a stranger into my house? I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what type of person they are. What if they steal my stuff? So all of that is causing issues, which makes homeowners feel like they're unable to actually just do this. Yes, I like the idea of people staying over, but I don't trust those people not to take my stuff or not to mess up my house. And 4, assuming that you do actually find homeowners who are willing to do this. First of all, you also have the uncultivated home sharing culture, because different people have different level of cleanliness, something that you won't have a problem with at a hotel who have a rigid standard. So if you go to a hotel, you expect certain things to be in place, certain things to be in shape. The bathroom will be clean, the place will be clean. But to the contrary to that, when you're staying at someone else's place, some people might be clean, and some people might not be clean. The not be clean part is going to ruin your holiday if you have to stay with somebody who is extremely messy or not your own standard of cleaning. So those are the problems relating to this idea of staying in someone else's place. In terms of existing alternative, you might ask your friend, like, well, isn't there somebody out there who's currently solving this problem, or who is currently looking at this and trying to figure out a way to solve this problem? Oops. And you might point to the fact, because you also want to know whether or not they have a good understanding of the industry itself. The existing alternatives, you might say, look, I have looked at the two major parties in this area. That's your booking.com and your hotels.com. And what I've seen is this hotels.com and booking.com don't deal with personal household. They don't deal with individuals. They only deal with hotels. So while they might give you several hotel aggregates and different hotel rooms across the cities and say pick the cheapest one for you, they still don't deal with people who want to monetize their home on a day-to-day basis. So you're convinced clearly there is a problem. Even when you travel, you want a cheap place to stay in. You want to feel like you've actually met the locals. Well, you want, if you're a homeowner, you're like, well, I do like the idea. I would like to actually rent my home out while I'm on holiday. That will give me some money for the holiday itself. And in terms of if you're a person who's, wanting to stay with other people and say, well, I would like the person to be clean. So what's your solution to all of this that solves this problem? Now, the solution that Airbnb has come up with is we're going to create an online service where travelers can rent an affordable local apartment and homeowners can earn extra money by renting out their vacant areas on a day-to-day basis. Basically, here is the homeowner. Here is the guest. Here is the Airbnb platform. We are going to create a platform that allows homeowners to list their properties here, allow guests to book properties from here, and we are going to take care of the culture of cleanliness. So we're going to introduce rules in terms of culture of cleanliness. For homeowners who are afraid that perhaps, other people might steal their stuff, we are going to offer insurance so that they don't really have to worry about insurance being validated. In terms of people who are looking for basically culture and stuff, well, they can stay with their homeowners if the homeowners are there and they can feel like they're home away from home. So that platform will provide that. And in terms of cheap, affordable accommodation, because the homeowners themselves don't really, they're not doing this as a business, it's just an extra source of income, the property will be a lot cheaper than your conventional hotels. So that's how the solution, the Airbnb, helps to solve the problems that are stated here. And we go, okay, I see now how you found these problems that nobody else seems to be dealing with, and you found a solution, a platform that allows these problems to be solved. You might then go on to say, all right, what's your unique value proposition? The one thing that other people can't copy, your unique selling point. The thing that regardless of whether or not you like it or you have money, you have to come to Airbnb to get that.